Well, yeah, tough night. I thought they did a great job of setting the tone, and we didn't run to the fight. And I think you could tell in the first part of the game the way we turned the ball over. It was we weren't running to the ball, and we had some people that weren't coming back to it. And I thought that kind of set the tone to start the game and put us in a hole. But our response was great, and I thought that was probably our best defensive effort. In total, like we had 5 opportunities for kills, which that means that's 3 stops in a row in the first half. But we told the guys we got to finish possessions, and you look at it, we had more offensive rebounds than they did, and statistically, but basically, and I think that stat's wrong. I think they had 23 actually second chance points. So that basically means they scored every single time on an offensive rebound. And I thought that was the big piece of the game is every time that we had those chances to get a kill or to get that stop that we needed, they made a play and they scored off of it. And that was a game. I thought that was a game. And then also it was tough offensively when we went it was 57-56. And then we just couldn't – we stopped moving the ball, though, and I thought that partially, yes, that has to do with it. We got Augie playing the 5 right now, and he hasn't done that most of the season yet. So there's some transitioning in the ball movement, but that didn't show up tonight, and I think that was probably the most disappointing thing on offense. I thought that was the first time that we didn't trust each other moving the basketball.
Is that the biggest area you miss somebody like Jorgensen? It's just that offensive flow because it's not easy to play the 5 in that system.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes it harder, and that's not a fault to Augie at all. Like and it wasn't Augie. It was our whole offense. As a group, we didn't move the ball well, and that's when it got stagnant. There was a lot of over dribbling. There was a lot of extra dribbles. There was a lot of not one more passes and whatnot. So that. Yeah, it made it hard. It wasn't just the P spot. It was everybody. I thought everybody involved as a group. We weren't tough enough to keep moving the ball.
Josh obviously hits that 3 you mentioned to put you guys up. It felt like the crowd really got into it. Felt like maybe the lid had kind of lifted off the rim, but you guys went 6.5 minutes, I think, without scoring after that. Did you feel like in that moment though that maybe things were finally starting to turn your way?
Yeah, and I don't know if I felt like it wasn't going our way earlier. I thought it was a back and forth game for the most part, and then it's tough, right? It was a 1-point game, or it was tied, or 2-point game. And we went 0 for 4 from the free throw line too. So, yeah, it happens. Sometimes it's a make and miss game too. But I thought we played well enough defensively, and I was proud of the guys for the way they competed defensively. It was just the offensive rebounds in the critical moments that I thought hurt us on the defensive end.
On that offensive end, how do you want your players to take advantage of those offensive opportunities in the future, getting deeper into the conference and then eventually on the road?
I think just getting back to what we do, just moving the ball and sharing the ball. That was just the most it was just uncharacteristic of who we've been and who we are. And maybe the 10 days off hurt you doing that and whatnot, and you got new people playing new positions and everything. But we're all going through different stuff. It's that time of year, and we got guys that have opportunities in front of them, and now it's a chance to go take advantage of it.
Well, Jevin and Brandon kind of talked about the heart of this team and being upset about a loss like this. How do you see that as a coach, and how do you take that as a jumping off point to other games?
I don't know. I told them, I really don't care about winning and losing. At the end of the day, I want to see us grow in certain areas that are going to get us to the point where that winning and losing takes care of itself. And we're not doing those things right now to take that step. We're doing it at times, like we are, and it showed up tonight. But it's the finishing of the possessions. We got to be able to finish possessions when we need them, and that was my biggest thing. Whether it's a jumping point to winning or losing, I don't really care about that. I want to see us take the steps that we need to in terms of finishing possessions, and then being tough enough to do what you want to do on offense.
Do you feel with some of that offense struggles that you've talked about, like a almost overthink from some guys, just given some role changes, maybe miss some shots and almost think it too much?
Yeah, there might be some of that. I think sometimes you can get caught up in the stress of the moment and trying to figure out what to do instead of just trusting your training and trusting your teammates. And I thought that happened a little bit tonight where guys stopped trusting what was going on and broke some things off. And you have all the freedom in the world to do that. We always say, but if you're going to break something off, it better be to make a play. And I thought sometimes we were breaking some things off, and the ball just got stuck, and then you'd have 8 seconds on the clock, and then it wasn't really the next possession. The next plays was the issue. It was the play before that led us to a bad shot.
I know it's kind of day by day at the moment, but are you hopeful that Bemba can play this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I can only I'd be lying. I think I'd be lying to our players if I worried about that too much, because I can only control what I can control too. He's doing everything that he can. He's working out. Madison's doing a great job with him, and JP. So he's on the right track. But I also don't want to push it either, because he needs to be in shape too. I don't want him to go out there and not be ready to play and hurt something else. So when he's ready, we'll get him back out there. But we got enough guys. Like the strength of this team, we said, was the depth, and we're getting tested with it right now. So I'm excited for those guys to take the next step when we get back to practice on the 1st.
You burned a second timeout late in the first half after one of those offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities for Nevada to kind of lay into some guys. Is that just like one of those things where you're just trying to get more effort out of the guys in those situations? Is that kind of what you saw was the issue at some points tonight with the offensive rebounding?
Yeah, just the finishing the possessions. That was it really, and we talked about it, and we've been harping on it. And they do it a lot. Like they do a great job. Like most of the night we did a great job. Like 2 of their best players go 2 for 17. So we did a great job. But yeah, at the end of the day, it comes down to finishing possessions. And in this league, when you got 2 teams that are in the top 80 in the country, like it's gonna come down to a few possessions. I know the score was 13, but basically it was a 1 possession back and forth game until the last 4 minutes. So the margins are small in this league, and one offensive rebound in the first half costs you just as much as one in the last minute on a free throw block out.
Do you feel like Augie will keep making progress in a more increased role? Because obviously maybe he came in to the year maybe thinking he might have a bigger role, and then his minutes were kind of up and down at times. But now obviously you need him to play pretty significant minutes every night. Do you feel like as the games go along, he'll continue getting better and better in this role?
Yeah, and he'll get more confidence too. I think, he had an issue and missed a game, missed the Creighton scrimmage, and that kind of set him back for a little bit. And he's trying to find his groove. And Augie's a great player, and he works hard. I mean, he works just as hard as anybody else in our program. Probably one of the hardest workers I've been around. So he got put in a tough spot tonight, running a position that he hadn't really ran all season. So considering all that, I thought he did great. Now I think he'll be more prepared for the next game and be able to execute even better. But sometimes you got to go through it too to get that experience.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, thanks guys.